All right, let's go over the Unit 1 study guide. Okay, number 1, the first thing you're going to do is combine the like terms here. So I have 47 plus 11x equals 14. Then I'm going to subtract 47 from both sides, and I have 11x equals negative 33. Then I'm going to divide each side by 11. So we are left with x equals negative 3. Number 2, we're going to combine our x's here. So I have 113 equals 16x minus 15. I'm going to add 15 to each side, which leaves me with 16x over here and 128 over here. Then you're going to divide each side by 16, so x is equal to 8. Okay, these are just decimals. You use the same steps. I'm going to combine my like terms here. I have 1 and 6/10 c equals 4 and 8/10. I'm going to divide by 1 and 6/10. Same rules. So c is 3. All right, next section. We have some fractions here that we need to clear, but in order to do that, we have to make them have a common denominator. So I'm going to make negative 4 thirds x into have a denominator of 6. So that'll be negative 8x over 6. So now I'm going to multiply everything by our denominator. So that leaves me negative 8x. You actually have to multiply the 6 times the x. That's a common place for a mistake. And then this is canceled. And then we have equals, so we have 13, because the 6's are canceled. All right, so now we're going to combine like terms here. So I have negative 2x plus 5 equals 13. I'm going to subtract 5 from both sides. So I have negative 2x equals 8. I'm going to divide each side by negative 2. So my answer is negative 4. Okay, number 5 is more decimals. I'm going to bring the ends over to one side. So I'm going to subtract 1 and 4/10 n. You can also subtract 3 and 8/10 n, but I'm going to go this way. So I have 2 and 4/10 n plus 13 equals 5. I'm going to subtract 13 from both sides. So I have 2 and 4/10 n equals negative 8. And I'm going to divide by 2 and 4/10. So I have x equals negative 3 and 3/10 repeating. Okay, let's go on to number 6. So here you have to distribute. 7 times 8d is 72d. I'm sorry, 9 times 8d is 72d. 9 times negative 5 is negative 45. Bring the 13 down, and then we're going to copy the rest of this. So here I'm going to combine my negative 45 and 13, and that is negative 32 equals 12d minus 2. So now I'm going to subtract 12d from both sides to get the variables to one side. And I'm going up here. I have 60d minus 32 equals 2. I'm going to add that 30. I'm sorry, this is negative. That's a copying error. 2 to each side. So I have 60d equals 30. I want you to be super careful here of what you divide with. So we're dividing with what's in front of the d. So d is 30/60ths, which if you simplify is 1/2. So be careful with problems like that. Here we're going to distribute again for number 7. 6 times 5m is 30m. 6 times negative 3 is negative 18. I'm going to take 1/3 of 24, or 24 divided by 3, 24m, and I get 8m. 12 divided by 3 is 4. I'm going to bring the variables to one side by subtracting m, 8m actually. Oops. So I have, oh, right, I'm going to go over here. So I have 22m minus 18 equals 4. I'm going to add 18. So I have 22m equals 22. I'm going to divide each side by 22. So m is 1. All right, moving on along. Number 8. So if I try to get the variables to both sides by subtracting 9j from both sides, I have negative 8 equals 8, and that they're not equal, so this is no solution. Okay, number 9. We're going to distribute. 4 times x is 4x. 4 times negative 1 is negative 4. Copy down the rest of the left side. We're going to distribute the 2 to the x, which is 2x. 2 to the 2, which is 4. If I combine these, I have 6x minus 4 equals 2x plus 4. So I think I'm going to subtract that 2x from both sides. So I have 4x minus 4 equals 4. Okay. So now I'm going to add 4 to both sides. So I have 4x equals 8. I'm going to divide by 4. So x is 2. All right, so now we're going to number 10. More distributing to do here. So I have 3x plus 2 times x, which is 2x, plus 2 times negative 1, which is negative 2. I have 2 times 2x, which is 4x, 2 times 1, which is 2. When I bring these together, I have 5x minus 2 equals 4x plus 2. Now I'm going to bring the variables to one side. So I have x minus 2 equals 2. When I add 2 to each side, I have x equals 4. Okay. All right, this is a little squished. I'm going to rewrite this over here. So I have 2 minus 3, quantity x plus 4 equals 5, quantity x minus 2. All right, so we're going to take that negative sign. I'm going to bring the 2 down, and I'm going to distribute that negative 3. So that's negative 3x. Negative 3 times positive 4 is negative 12. 5 times x, 5x. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. So let's put these together. So 2 and negative 12 is negative 3x minus 10. Okay, so now I'm going to bring the variables together. to one side. So I have negative 8x minus 10 equals negative 10. So I have negative 8x equals 0. If you divide by negative 8, you still get 0. So for number 11, x is 0. Remember, 0 can be an answer. All right, let's look at number 12 over here. So I have negative quantity of x minus 6 minus 2x plus 7 is all equal to negative 5. Okay, we have some work to do on the left side here. We're going to distribute that negative sign. So this becomes negative x, and negative negative becomes a positive. So let's combine the x's. We have negative 1x and negative 2x is negative 3x. And let's combine the constants. 6 and 7 together is 13. So when we subtract 13 from both sides, I get negative 3x is equal to negative 18. I'm going to divide by negative 3, and I get x is positive 6. All right, that's it for the solving equations section. The next part says Mrs. Green takes her family to a Cubs game and buys each of them a hat and a hot dog. Baseball hats are $14.95. Hot dogs are $7.95 each, and then the ticket for the game is $52.95 per person. So circle each expression that represents the total amount of money Mrs. Green spent for the game if M represents the number of family members. So if you add all these things together, the $14.95, the $7.95, and the $52.95, it comes to a grand total of $75.85 per person. So this $72.85 is wrong. The total is wrong. So this next one takes the ticket times the number of the people plus the hat times the number of people plus the hot dog times the number of people. So this one works. The next one takes the cost of everything, but it doesn't multiply it by the number of people. So that doesn't work. And this one here takes the number of people and adds it all together inside, and then, takes all of the things and adds them together on the inside, and then multiplies by the number of people. So this works. This one doesn't work. And this one takes everything and adds it together and then adds the number of people. So it doesn't work. Okay, B, including herself, Mrs. Green has 5 members in her family. How much will the day at the Cubs game cost? So I totaled this all up for you right here. So if we take 75.85 and multiply it by 5, we get a grand total of $379.25. All right, moving on. I think we have time for one more. The sum of 3 consecutive integers is negative 39. What are the integers? These consecutive integer problems are all set up the same. So here is my first one. And then if you add 1 to that, you get your second integer. And if you add 2 to the first one, you're at your third integer. And then they all equal negative 39. So if I combine my n's, I have 3n. If I combine my constants, I have 3, all equal to negative 39. If I subtract 3 from both sides, I have 3n equals negative 41. And if I divide by 3, I get my first integer is negative 14. If I add 1 to it, my second one is negative 13.